Try and stop me! Rev the engines! Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Overruled!
This is order!
Rise with the sun! Everybody stand back! Let's... Laid bare.
Solidify!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Transfix!
I will have order!
Everybody stand back! Let's lock!
Stabilize!
Light it up!
Gather!
I'm going in! Huh? Transfixed!
Stabilize! Order guide you!
Wrath from the sky! Everybody stand back!
Solidified! This is order!
Light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's light...
Stabilize!
Rise with the sun! I'm going in! This is where you fall. Transfixed!
Solidified!
Burn it down!
Gather!
Rise with the sun!
Stabilize!
Laid bare. Burn it down! Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's look!
Solidified! I will have order! Gather!
Light it up! Transfixed! Laid bare.
Stabilize!
Everybody stand back! Let's light it up! Overruled! Witness my rise! Transfixed!
Gather! This is order!
Burn it down! Teamwork is dreamwork! Add Astro. Thank you for complete. Add Astro.
The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaussée Phantom. This is the one. The list of involved suspects should be... Ah, found it.
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of Meropide following trial. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders but who do not stand trial. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All
So many names. Is the one who sent that threatening letter to Kiara?
Nothing suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around without much restriction.
Monsieur Neverlet, someone claiming to be from the Spina Durasula just checked in with us.
He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at the cafe."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only just figured out the suspect's name.
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here. We should head over and take a look.
Hey, Navia, we're here! Whoa. Check out all these people. Hey there, are you Navia's friends too?
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
Something feels off. But, oh well. Let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essan here?
Yes, that's me.
You're Essa?
Yes, monsieur Nervilette.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico, he was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as much as I could do.
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right then, let's head to the fortress right now.
It's Monsieur Nervilette?
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
And a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind the scenes here?
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Sigewinne! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here. Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. Ah, and watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
We just had a new member join us last month.
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink? Paimon's not that thirsty, but thanks anyway. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical Sigewinne. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation, but everyone treats each other like family. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress. But people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network? If you'd like to learn more, here's our flyer. Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained unchanged. Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and sign up anytime.
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against anyone. He encouraged the weaker criminals to stick together and look out for each other. All of us have a lot of respect for him.
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
Mm-hmm. The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol in Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh! So the network was inspired by...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation.
allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do, kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
Idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusines? Over that?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusines to salvage things. I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection, so I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force her to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sijween, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes, I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
Yep. Neverlet thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
Time itself.
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any comments?
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meropide. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia.
More than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy, so I asked her to stay inside the palais. It's very safe in there.
What a relief!
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled. To celebrate this joyous occasion, Monsieur Nouvelette, would you be interested in an exclusive interview?
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes! Thank you so much, Monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communiqué to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all. Kiara?
Monsieur Nouvelette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so I easily forget things. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, "Kiara, our dreams have finally come true." I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Nouvelette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot! Am I allowed to go out now? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
fortress of Meripede would be super scary, but looking back on it, it really wasn't that bad at all. You've got a set schedule, guaranteed food and board, and you can even buy all kinds of stuff with credit coupons. It's really no surprise that many people don't even want to leave. Oh, you mean Risley? He's definitely a pretty impressive leader. Well, he does look kind of intimidating. He's actually pretty easy to talk to once you've had a conversation or two with him. Paimon wonders how he's like with the people here. Do they also get the same guy we do, or is he a lot harsher with the bad guys? Yeah, he must be doing something right to maintain order here, while not making everything feel super oppressive.
Excuse me, did I hear someone there? Could you please...
Huh? Paimon could have sworn she just heard something.
Excuse me, is someone passing by? Could you do me a favor, please?
Nope, Paimon wasn't dreaming. There's someone over there for sure. But Paimon doesn't see anyone.
Oh, did you hear my call? Thank you so much. I'm over here, inside this big box.
You're inside the box? Oh, no wonder Paimon didn't see anything. Well, come on, Traveler, let's go take a look. Why are you hiding in here anyway? If we hadn't happened to pass by, you could have been stuck for days.
It's a bit complicated. Can we not talk about that for now?
Whoa, that's terrible! Did someone seriously do that to you?
No, it was nothing quite that serious. I'd just like some help finding my hat.
Just your hat? But then, why can't you look for it yourself? Huh. Wait, Paimon gets it! Something must have happened to your hair! Sorry. So that's what happened. Paimon gets it now. No wonder why you had to hide inside the box. You just need your hat, right? We'll get it back to you right away. What kind of hat was it?
I think you may have misunderstood me, but never mind. Please just help me find my hat. It's a soft and brown hat with a bit of a brim. Nothing fancy. I think I probably lost it near the entrance elevator. It was getting a bit hot, so I took it off and had a quick nap. But when I came to, it was gone. It's really important to me, so your help would mean the world. I'll wait here for your return.
Don't worry, we'll be back in no time. Paimon doesn't see anything here. Let's go somewhere else. Just where is that thing? Oh, this is taking longer than Paimon thought. Nothing in the water either. Paimon thought it might have gotten blown in. Oh, we've looked everywhere and still not seen anything that looks like a hat. Huh, that's a good idea. If he's just looking to cover his head, then it shouldn't matter what kind of hat he's wearing. Why don't we check out the Rag and Bone Shop? If memory serves, they've got all kinds of stuff in there. Huh? How did you know what Paimon was thinking? days. Well, either way, let's go check it out first. Doesn't remember you being the boss.
Well, I'm just standing in for Mr. Alvar while he's off restocking the shop. Now, just wait a sec. A blonde foreigner, dressed all in white, accompanied by a glaze-covered flying chunk of gingerbread. Oh, you must be the legendary traveler and their companion Paimon.
No! Well, you're half right. Paimon's the traveler's treasured companion, sure, but she's not some flying chunk of gingerbread!
Sorry, I never thought I'd get the chance to see you with my own eyes, so got a bit ahead of myself. I hope you find it in your magnanimous hearts to forgive my discourtesy. I'm just a nobody, after all.
There's no need to put yourself down like that. Paimon's just venting.
Why, your heroic actions at Aeneas have long made their way to the fortress of Meripede. We heard that you were personally received by His Grace when you made your way down here, you know. Ah, you were the envy of all. And you're one of His Grace's favorite people, so of course, everyone wants to be introduced to you. Well, I'd figure you'd appreciate honesty over flattery. After all, I also only joined up here because I'd heard Mr. Alvar was a good friend of the Duke. And though I've only caught scant sight of His Grace since then, as fate would have it, I've become fast friends with Mr. Alvar himself. I mean, we've all got agendas, but rather than trying to force something to be true, it's often better to just go with the flow.
Oh, so now you're trying to kiss up to us.
Well, I did mean it when I called you legends, and it is indeed an honor to meet the two of you. Oh, enough of that. Is there something you're looking for? No problem. Anything else? Hey, feel free to check out anything you want. The credit coupon costs are on me.
Wait, but that's, you don't have to be so nice.
Well, it's not like I'm getting paid to watch this shop. Instead of more or coupons, Mr. Alvar usually lets me just take my pick of our goods. Life's been pretty good recently, so I might as well just waive your bill. Never hurts to make some friends.
All right, Paimon will take a look.
Are you sure you don't want more? These opportunities don't come by every day, you know.
It's all right, two will do. It just doesn't feel the same if the owner's offering everything to you for free. But anyway, we don't need to get into that right now. We can discuss Paimonology later. That poor guy must still be waiting for us. Thank you so much. We'll be off then.
No problem, and thank you for your patronage. I'd appreciate it if you could put in a nice word for our establishment the next time you speak to His Grace.
That's a real sneaky way of getting good reviews. We've been gone a while. Paimon hopes that guy in the box hasn't passed out from lack of air.
alive. Just one sec.
Wait! So, you're not actually bald? You've got such a full head of hair, too!
I mean, I told you that there had been a misunderstanding. This has nothing to do with my hair. Wait, this isn't my hat.
Well, we got you a new one. We tried really hard to look for your hat, but no dice.
Ah, I see. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful, but unfortunately, there's just something special about my hat.
Does it have some kind of sentimental value?
But, sorry, I can't explain at the moment. Time's tight as well, so I suppose I'll keep looking for a while.
If you're looking for a hat, I just picked one up over here. Is it yours?
Your Grace!
Oh, hey, Risley! It's been a while!
Well, it's a slow day today, so I decided to go for a little stroll. Even if your workspace isn't cramped, it's still good to get some air. I'll say, I'm not at all surprised to find the two of you here. You never could turn down someone's request for help.
It's what good adventurers do, after all.
Is that so? Maybe I should consider asking the Adventurers Guild to open a branch here. As I recall, these hats are very important to members of the Beret Society. Best you avoid misplacing it again, You might not have the same luck next time.
Understood. Thank you so much, Your Grace. Then I'll be off. I'll get going now.
What a strange guy. Why did he care so much about his hat? Oh, and has he done something wrong? When he saw you, it was as if he'd seen a ghost.
Oh, not at all. In fact, members of the Beret Society are model prisoners. They work hard and never get into trouble. They've saved me a lot of work, in fact. As for him, I'd guess he's just more of an introvert. It's not unusual for the more shy prisoners to freak out when I show up unannounced.
Huh? Shy? There are prisoners who are afraid to talk to people?
Prisoners are still people, after all. There are as many crimes and motives as there are stars in the sky. The idea of the criminal as a selfish, heartless brute is just a stereotype. Such labels could never capture the complexity of even a single individual person. What kind of a person a prisoner may be and why they've committed a crime, we'd never know these things if they don't share their story with us.
Huh. You've got a point. Anyway, it's all good as long as it makes sense to you.
Although most of the societies here will just turn individual brawls into mass ones. The Beret Society does appear to be an exception, and it's instead trying to experiment with some novel and interesting things. If you have some time, why don't we grab something at the coupon cafeteria? It'll give us time to catch up, too. And if you're still interested in the berets after that, I can take you to their usual gathering place as well.
Paimon's not the that cafeteria, but if we're gonna catch up...
All right then, please follow me.
Welcome, Your Grace, and the Traveler. Would you like 3 orders of today's welfare meal? Unfortunately, we weren't informed of your visit in advance, so we didn't prepare any super deluxe welfare meals today.
I'll pass on the food, then. What about you?
Then Paimon will also pass. Paimon will save her stomach for something better.
What a pity. It would seem that none of us can properly appreciate your skills, Walsey.
Then I must beg Your Grace to find me some more ingredients, so I can come up with some more welfare meal recipes. If you're not in the mood to eat, I can get you some drinks. We just got some great shipments in from above.
Yes, please? Huh. Paimon didn't know you could get non-welfare stuff at this place.
It's not for everyone. Think of it as a special treat for VIPs.
Oh, now that's what Paimon likes to hear. In that case, 2 bottles of the drink for Paimon, please.
2 bottles coming right up.
Our first meeting took place on short notice, and we were both swamped by everything that happened after, so there was no time for more casual chit-chat. I'm actually quite fond of stories, you know. Of course, the others have already told me a lot about your deeds in Fontaine, but I'd love to hear it straight from the source.
Whoa, that'd be quite the long story.
Impressive. Not all who possess the courage to risk their life for their ideals also have the strength to make it out unscathed. Had you not possessed these remarkable qualities, I probably wouldn't have had the chance to make your acquaintance in the first place.
Paimon gets the sense that you're trying to flatter us. That guy we talked to earlier was obviously trying to get us to put in a good word for him, but you're the Duke, right? Why would you need to get on our good side?
Well, after all, you did help the fortress and I maintain our autonomy. Is it so strange that I would want to give a few words of praise out of genuine admiration? So this is a matter of trust. Which is unfortunate, since I don't have nearly as interesting of a story to offer about myself. I was convicted and sent here at an early age. I only became the top dog after spending a long time figuring out its inner workings. Power and control come in many forms, some fair and ethical, others less so. And since we're all sinners here, the victor calls the shots, no matter how they manage to get to the top. So, what do you think? Didn't put you much more at ease, now did it?
Kinda. You're really different from most of the people we've met so far.
I'm perfectly aware of that too, but even so, that doesn't make me think any less of you. I would very much like to maintain friendly relations with you two.
Your Grace, after following your instructions, we were able to find a box of undeclared contraband in the latest shipment of cargo. They were extremely well hidden, and we've confirmed that the senders have been using this method to smuggle goods for a while. We're trying to trace the goods to their source.
Got it. Leave the box here and contact me immediately if you make any progress. You're dismissed.
Yes, Your Grace.
Sorry, I'd almost completely forgotten about this.
She mentioned something about contraband. Are they like dangerous goods?
Not necessarily. The term is just applied to things people want to bring in on the sly. Many people here are experts at pulling rabbits out of the most ordinary hats, so we have to examine everything carefully. Now, what do we have here? It's more or less what I expected.
Whoa, this is certainly a box of curiosities. Mora, snacks, yarn, balls, ropes, mechanical parts, and even a gem! Wait, if you've confiscated this entire box, then does that mean all of this belongs to you now?
Yep. We can't just send them back up now, can we?
What? But that's just insane profit! Traveler, why don't you become a duke as well?
It's only been a couple minutes since we agreed to continue friendly relations with each other, and you're already planning to overthrow me? Jokes aside, I didn't know you'd be so interested in this box. How about this then? You can pick anything you want from it. Consider it a gift from me.
Really? You'll let Paimon pick anything? No takebacks. Paimon will have you know that she's got a real good eye for treasure.
I never joke about things like this.
Alright, Paimon's gonna have a look. Paimon wants this one. This dark, sparkly gem. You just know it must be worth a ton of Mora. Actually, never mind. Paimon doesn't want this gem anymore. Can Paimon pick something else instead? There's something weird about this gem. Paimon remembered a lot of bad things when she picked it up. Paimon couldn't even tune them out. It's as if the gem was just drawing them out of Paimon's brain. It was super spooky.
Is that so? Let me give it a try. Paimon's right. I too experienced some unpleasant flashbacks. Are you sure? I wouldn't exactly call it fun. Fair enough. Go ahead. I don't think it'll have a permanent effect.
Are you okay, Traveler? You also saw something, right?
I'll take this gem, then, and run a thorough investigation on its properties. Paimon, feel free to pick something else.
Actually, never mind. Paimon's gonna pass. Paimon was thinking about one of the snacks, but who knows if it'll also make Paimon sick.
You do have a point. In that case, we should destroy the entire box and all of its contents. Seems like we're almost done with our drinks, too. Let's go check out the Society's gathering place, then. I can introduce you, and we can also continue our conversation while we're at it.
Wait, are you this free every day or something?
Just noticed? I wasn't exactly busy the first time we met, either.
We are honored by your visit, Your Grace. All of us at the Society have been waiting for your arrival. Are these your two guests?
Mm-hmm. Let me introduce you to them. Traveler, this is Dugier, the head of the Beret Society. This is their gathering place. Members can find all sorts of drinks and snacks here, as well as a large variety of books and other resources. Every once in a while, the Society will also host activities and seminars, which are always well attended.
You flatter me, Your Grace. All we did was set up an organization in the same way as you would in the world above. It's so easy to feel lonely and helpless when you arrive here for the first time. I remember that feeling all too well. None of us knew anything about this place then, after all. But that's when the thought came to me. If we could help everyone turn over a new leaf, they would no longer have to lead such gloomy existences. Thus, it was with your help that I founded the Beret Society.
Oh, so you were also involved with this, Risley?
My part in this was minimal. All I did was follow procedure and rubber stamp the application. I'm sure you have a very good sense of what this place is about by now. As you know, not everyone takes their sentence seriously. For some, this is just another place where they can eat, breathe, and sleep. But the Society is a great place for those who wish to turn things around.
Exactly right. Here, we keep an eye on each other and remind each other of our goals. Everyone can focus on rehabilitating our mental states and even make many new friends. Our operations are entirely funded by members' donated goods and credit coupons. Same for the things you can see here.
Who knew you could find such a place in the Fortress of Meropide? Oh, right, and what's the deal with the hats?
There's nothing deep about it. I just felt like we needed some kind of visible identifier. If our members felt joy and pride from being a part of this group, then the hats would become a point of pride for them as well. And when we're together, we will feel a sense of community from seeing everyone's hats. Optimism, community, hard work, and a desire for a new life. I hope this hat will show everyone everything we have been working towards.
In other words, that hat has come to represent something like a model citizen, which also helps them recruit new members.
Once again, you are exactly right, Your Grace. That's a part of our goal as well. Let's take a little old seat over here. There's no need for us to stand. I'll ask the members to get us some drinks. Please wait here just one moment. Feel free to look around too if you want to learn more about us.
Oh, right. What happened to your slow day, Risley?
Seems like I shouldn't underestimate an adventurer's keen sense of observation. I'll bear that in mind the next time I need to do something low-key. Kidding, of course. We're just discussing some small matters. It shouldn't take long. We've also already gone over the organization's vision. Instead of listening to me try to explain some more, maybe it'd be better if you took a look around for yourself.
Why does Paimon feel like he didn't answer the question at all? Well, we're already here, aren't we? Yeah, they're supposed to be like the model prisoners, right? So this is what their spot looks like. Hey, what are you doing over here?
Oh, hello. You are guests of the Duke, are you not? I'm organizing the bookshelves. Want to take a look? We've got some classics, as well as a few books that the members published themselves. Yeah, most of them are writing diaries or autobiographies on their time in the organization. Some quit drinking. Some learned to tailor. Some became real good at calligraphy. And even I've learned to use a camera. We find it kind of funny. You see, had we managed to stay above ground, none of us would have ever had the time to learn any of those skills.
It's because you all have a lot more free time now.
Not only that, but we've also now got the mental space to think about taking on new things. Before we came here, we were constantly exhausted just trying to live. With how the Duke and Mr. Dugier have organized our lives down here, though, all we need to do is think about the things that we want to do. You never know what you may be good at until you give it a try. And while you're here, no matter what you do, you won't get judged for it. After all, there's no need to conform to societal expectations when you're already in jail.
So this is something like a safe space.
Yeah, that's exactly right. After all, not everyone is good at fighting, or have the physical strength to do hard labor. The Society is exactly what some of us need. And that's it. I just finished organizing this shelf as well, so feel free to check it out if you want. Just remember to put the books back after you're done.
Don't worry, we will.
Welcome to our gathering place. Is there anything you'd like me to explain to you?
Oh, it's okay. We're just taking a look around.
Well, that's not a bad comparison. It is my job to explain our amenities and benefits to our latest members. I'm sure Mr. Dugier has already explained some of it, but allow me to fill you in some more. Besides this space, which our members use to rest and relax, we also have an entertainment room, a fitness room, and a self-study room. These rooms are open to all of our members. We want everyone to be able to use their free time to the fullest.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do you have a restaurant too? If you did, you also wouldn't have to eat at the big cafeteria anymore.
Unfortunately, we don't. For matters like that, we still have to rely on His Grace. We started a collaboration with the cafeteria a while back, though, so they'll let us borrow their kitchen to do some simple research into recipes and cooking.
Yeah, Paimon can definitely see how it'd be easier to live your life if you had all this support.
Yep, and that's exactly why Mr. Dugier founded the Society. We all think we made the correct choice to join him.
Hey, you there, newbie!
Hello? Are you talking to Paimon?
Yep, I'm talking to you. Now, why don't you follow my lead and take a deep breath before letting everything out like this? Ha! That's how I pump myself up every day. A lot of my friends have found it super useful too. With one shout, you can release all the fatigue, resentment, and unpleasantness from your lungs and return to the day with all the optimism in the world. Why don't you also give it a try, huh? I promise that it'll work.
Paimon's gonna pass.
Feeling shy? That's alright. As long as you remember this trick, it'll come in handy one day. Just remember to take a deep breath and let it all out if you find yourself at your wit's end.
Alright, we've talked to everybody. It sure sounds like they're all pretty happy. That would explain why Risley only had good things to say about this place. Huh. It looks like they're starting to wrap up their conversation as well. Let's go over to them.
Of course, Your Grace. I will attend to those matters right away.
Okay, then I don't have anything else to add. Oh, you're back. What did you think about this place? Now, note that your opinion will also affect my review of Dugier and the Society as a whole.
Wait, I didn't know they were also a part of the evaluation process. It's all right with me, though. I'm pretty confident about our growth and activities.
Paimon thinks it's pretty good. Don't think anyone expected you to get a society going here of all places.
So it seems that you were able to get a sense of our vision and values. That's all I can ask for, really.
The prisoners here all have very different personalities and psychological needs. Our needs are like violent beasts. If we can't face them properly, they'll grow restless and enraged, causing pain and conflict. But if we can placate them, they lose their fangs, and they can even be converted into fuel for far nobler pursuits. Which is why, in my opinion, learning to reconcile with oneself is the first step on the path to redemption.
You've hit the nail on the head, Your Grace. Before I founded the Society, I had met too many people who could not come to terms with themselves. And I'm sure that a part of your support is rooted in your desire to help those people find their way.
And Paimon thought everyone was enjoying life just fine, working and fighting.
Of course, that lifestyle is more than enough for some people in the fortress. For others, though, they would just be useless distractions.
Speaking of fighting, I'm not sure if you knew this, but even His Grace sometimes fights in the ring.
What? You fight in the ring too? Wearing those high-tech boxing gloves of yours?
Oh, I almost never need them.
Hey, isn't that the guy who lost his hat? Did you come here to relax too? What's wrong? Did you forget about us already?
Are you feeling all right? You are looking a little pale.
No, I'm fine. Thank you for helping me get my hat back. I'm sorry, but I've got to go.
He's still as weird as before. Paimon's kind of used to it by now, though.
Dugier, do you know what's up with him?
I'm also not too sure about that. As far as I recall, he's always been a little strange, but I'll check up on him later. After all, it's my responsibility as the leader to make sure that no one falls through the cracks.
We'll leave him to you then. Where were we before we got sidetracked? Oh, right, about that. You might have thought that I was joking, but in a place like that, everyone will use everything in their power to win. And when emotions run high, things often spiral out of control. That would be when I need to pull out my gloves to maintain order. Sometimes you might need more than just gloves as well. This pair of handcuffs has also come in handy quite a number of times. Oops.
Oh, isn't that awful gem? You're still carrying it with you?
Yeah, I kept it on me because of its